said a while ago, your nominations committee has received only one nominee for presidential standard bearer of the Unido. I therefore move to close the nomination and to declare unanimously the Honorable Salvador Laurel as the presidential standard bearer of Unido. Those who vote yes to this motion, please rise and give a standing ovation to the presidential nominee of the Unido.
Tayong lahat sa laban ito, kung maaari iwasan natin ang himagsikan, kung maaari iwasan natin ang paggamit ng taas upang mabawi ang ating mga karapatan at kalayaan at upang may bangon ang ating puri bilang isang lahi.
Some believe that Cory Aquino was the right candidate to defeat Marcos. But notwithstanding the clamor urging her to run, Cory kept her silence. In his diary, Doy had written, "These were the first of many broken promises. 2 days after Marcos announced the snap election, Cory announced she was willing to run for the presidency."
Sa Manila says if the majority of the opposition choose Mrs. Cory Aquino as the presidential candidate, would you be willing to sublimate your desires for running as president of this country?
You know, an opposition at this time, these are very critical times, must be prepared to sacrifice and risk everything. In other words, you must be prepared to do anything for the people. So, if you must be prepared to run for anything or not run at all.
Okay.
On top of that, you must be prepared to risk everything, including your own life, because these are very critical times. So, answering your question, the decision of the united opposition will be respected. And if Cory Aquino or anybody else is the final choice of the entire united opposition, we will respect it. I will respect it. I just feel that somebody must provide the leadership.
In the following day, Doy told Cory he would give way to her only if she ran under the Unido. She declined. Doy had no other choice but to run. In his statement before the press, Doy said, "I can sacrifice myself. I can sacrifice the presidency, but I cannot sacrifice the people who have suffered so much and worked so hard all these years, risking life, liberty, even honor, to put up the political machine that is now capable of toppling the Marcos dictatorship." After consulting with her advisors, Cory changed her mind. She agreed to run under the Unido. A new energy invigorated the opposition.
In the interest of unity, which is the key to victory, victory which will dismantle the dictatorship and bring about the establishment of a truly just and democratic order, I wish to announce that late last night, I withdrew my certificate of candidacy for the presidency, and that together with Cory here, we filed also last night our certificates of candidacy both under the banner of Unido, she for the presidency of the Republic and I for the vice presidency of the Republic.
Process, you've had a good close look. The perception of a lot of people is the president makes mistakes because her advisors give her wrong advice. Ngayon, why are you not blaming her advisors? Why are you blaming her?
Some people say that a president is only as good.
Something has to be done. This is part of what you raised as a valid issue. Now, well, I don't want to call them propagandists, but friends of the administration say that there is corruption, but it is not at the top, it is at the bottom. Response, please.
I don't agree with that. I think that is palabas. I think this is public knowledge, that graft and corruption is one of the greatest failures of this administration. This administration, and I was present when Cory Aquino made that promise to the people that aalisin daw lamang niya, aalisin daw kapag siya'y inihalal ng bayan, hindi lamang ang gambling casinos, titigil daw niya ang graft and corruption. But many people believe that the graft and corruption during the first 2 years of this Aquino administration matches the last years of the past regime.
When you were in the cabinet, we're going to talk insurgency in a few minutes. When you were in the cabinet, were you aware of any counter-insurgency program being implemented by the administration?
None, and that's the reason I resigned as Foreign Secretary. I wanted an all-out, comprehensive anti-insurgency policy, and I was fighting for that. And when President Aquino ignored my importunings to have such a policy, I resigned. That was after visiting all the military camps. And a good example of that is Quezon. And the best evidence, or Exhibit A of that, of how bad the peace and order situation is, and is Governor, one of your guests tonight, Governor Eddie Rodriguez, who was kidnapped at the height of the campaign. So at the time when I was about to proclaim, he was not there. So much so that I asked for a postponement of the elections in Quezon.
So you've mentioned that there's no counter-insurgency program in the administration.
None.
In your incumbency as Foreign Secretary, there was no foreign policy.
In my opinion, there was no direction.
Yet,
Not from Malacanang.
well, at least in one area, the administration claims they've succeeded, the economic recovery. There is an economic boom. They're on their way to improving.
I don't think there is economic recovery yet. I disagree with that.
Do you agree that steps have been taken to improve the economic picture?
Well, there have been steps taken, but it's not going into a definite direction. That is one of my, that was one of the things I mentioned in the letter.
Okay. Would you like to say a parting word?
Well, I'd like to just address a very brief appeal to our people, ang mga minamahal natin yung kababayan, lalo-lalo na yung mga nakikinig dyan sa kanilang mga bahay. Hindi ko na isasali yung mga nasa katungkulan, lalo na yung matataas ang katungkulan. At hindi ko din isasali yung mga nakikinabang sa administrasyon, itong current administration. Ang gusto sanang gawin ngayong gabi ay magtanong lamang ng tatlong tanong. Are you better off now than you were 30 months ago, before this administration took over? Second, do you feel safer now in your homes and in the streets than you felt 30 months ago? And third, do you feel that there is less graft and corruption now than there was during the last years of the previous regime? While your answer to these questions will decide whether my resignation was justified or not. While there is no, in my opinion, a response to the promises that had not been fulfilled by President Aquino. President Aquino behaves like an innocent bystander, hoping that the problems will simply solve themselves. I think it is time now to separate those who believe that the present or current administration is doing a wonderful job. They should join forces, fine. They should support President Aquino. But all those who believe that she is not doing a good job, that she is making a mess out of the present situation,